Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pager, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 5. So we as the audience, as the Flash fans or Flash fans, have watched 17 episodes of this season so far, obviously one of them being the crossover, and then we have episode 18, that of course being the highly anticipated Godspeed episode, hitting our screens in just over 3 weeks from now after this break that we are on. And for people that are still wondering about why we specifically are on a break again, firstly, we always go on break this time like every season, give or take a week, so we should all be used to it by now. And also there is college basketball. I think it's the March Madness thing that's going on. I don't know if it's right now, it's going to start in like a week or something, but that's on at this time of the year. And why would Flash want to compete with that when the basketball's on at the same time? It's sort of silly. So those are the reasons for the break that we're on right now. But while we are waiting for the show to come back, they are still actually filming the show, and they are actually just about to wrap up the penultimate episode, that being the second last episode for the season, that being episode 21. Reminder, there's only 22 episodes this season. And I think they are going to go straight into finale filming for the season. If not, there might be a couple of days break, but they may as well just smash out the rest of it so the actors just get a bigger off-season break before season 6 starts production in, I think it's July? But yeah, as I said, they're filming episode 21, which we don't have a title for at the moment. We don't even have a title for episode 19 or 20 yet, so it would be surprising if we got the title for this one. But there are actually some crazy and unexpected things going on in this episode that are, well, yeah, crazy, unexpected, and just surprising. But of course, spoiler alert for what is to come in this video, there is some major things in regards to certain characters that will occur in this episode that I don't think many of us would have seen coming, so don't continue if you're going to be, or get triggered by these spoilers. If you are continuing, be sure to leave your opinions in the comment section down below and what you think of all of this. But before we jump into stuff from the set of this episode, shoutouts to Canada Graphs first, who provided details of what went down and set photos of what went down as well. The link to his blog post, which has more information and many more photos, will be linked in the description down below. And also a shout out to Themyscira Bound on Twitter, who provided some videos as well, which will be played throughout the video also. So check out those links once we are done with the video, they're in the description. So I am just going to go over Canada Graph's report while putting some of the set photos on screen when relevant, as well as some of the videos from Themyscira Bound on screen as well when relevant. So yeah, here we go. A daytime scene was shot with Sherlock Wells and Renee Adler. So Renee Adler was that doppelganger of his wife that we met a few episodes ago, and a lot of us thought had just, fallen into apartment 4 and gone down the plot hole. Well, she's coming back. It had Sherlock running hastily down a street to catch up to Renee, who was sitting on a bench. The pair talk for a couple of minutes, with Sherlock at one point trying to seem to drag her away, before Renee pauses that idea and the pair talk. During the talk, Sherlock shows Renee something, and the look on her face was one of, "What? Seriously?" But what was it that had a metahuman so amazed? Sherlock seemed to be showing her an extrapolator, so that's the thing that opens the breaches to other Earths in the multiverse. So like Killer Frost used one 2 episodes ago, and we've said it multiple times. So was Sherlock giving this to her, or was he showing it to her to tell her that he could come and see her at any time? So is Sherlock, saying his last goodbyes to Earth 1 or getting them ready? The pair moved to a scene up on the upper courtyard of the law building after that. Once the night shoot started, they had 3 cast come in to shoot some scenes. Sometimes they were by themselves, sometimes with just 2 of them, and a few times with all 3 of them. The Flash, Excess, and Cicada. In the scene, it seems Flash and Excess try to attack her with one of their lightning throws, and Cicada just stands there unfazed by it. She then does her classic jump away while Flash and Excess seem to cower from the action. A couple of interesting observations of Cicada in the scene was, first of all, no respirator. Secondly, looks like she went and got her hair done, now sporting tight braids on the side of her head. She also seems to be donning an almost all-leather suit now. Lastly, she was carrying around a device that looked to me like the type of claw you see on one of those machines in malls where you can win a stuffed animal if you can pick it up with these 3-pronged claws. What was it for? She never seemed to use it for anything really, just carried it around. Some more solid Cicada scenes were done of her walking down the same staircase that Sherlock and Renee were just looking up at. I don't like to assume things, but the angle of it all strongly suggests it's Cicada that Sherlock and Renee were fending off. There was then a scene shot with Vibe and Elongated Man. The pair breach into the area where everything has been going on, walk down the stairs, and are confronted with something. Vibe points a gun-type device at the mystery item/person before the two, might I say, seem to be knocked down. After Carlos and Hartley wrapped as Vibe and Elongated Man, they went back to shooting more scenes with Cicada, but the angle was mostly covered by equipment and crew. Now, just a bonus thing from set, Canada Graphs brought up the fact that Carlos Valdez, who plays Cisco, had to endure so many people asking him about his plans with the show at the Vancouver Fan Expo a few weekends ago, and his reaction was mostly what you would call, awkward embarrassment. Now, he seemingly laughed it off, but Canada Graphs told him whatever he does next, that he wished him luck, and Carlos replied with a very sincere "thanks man" before he left. Now, Carlos seemed to just be relieved to not be asked again whether he was leaving and stuff. This rumor has clearly made the rounds so much that even a crew member asked Canada Graphs the first night if it was true that he was actually leaving. So yeah, just some food for thought there in regards to the Cisco leaving fiasco and rumor and stuff. Now, the first thing to actually talk about is the fact that Nora is back working with the team, which isn't surprising, I guess. Episode 18 isn't going to be like a 45-minute exposed video showing DMs and tweets from 2015. If anything, it's going to make Team Flash realize Nora's motives and why she did what she did. Sure, it might take Team Flash and especially Barry, an episode or two after that to come around to the idea of Nora helping them out. Maybe she pleads and they just ignore her and stuff like that. But it shouldn't really surprise anyone that Nora is back on the team at this point. They weren't going to make her a villain or anything like that randomly at the end of the season, or just make her sit at the end, because she's basically been the main character this season. The next thing to go over is about the fact there is no respirator anymore on Cicada. I guess we're left to just assume that Grace doesn't need it in the past, saying, well, they know who she is, and also no one outside of Team Flash in the present day would recognize her. Orlan wore it as an identity concealer for the most part. He didn't need it to breathe. The reason it made that noise was because he had the lung issue because of where the dagger hit him. In the future, Grace would have wanted to still give away the idea and the illusion that Orlan would still have been Cicada in the future and no one else had taken over the mantle or anything like that. But yeah, there's no need for that in the past when no one would recognize you outside of the people who already know that you're Cicada. But the biggest, what the hell is going on here moment from these set photos is that goddamn claw that Cicada Grace has on her. It's so random, but also so damn intriguing. Now, in the set photos, you could make the argument that she's just holding it, which I think Canada Graphs says as well. However, it sort of does look like they have made it that she no longer has a left hand, and there is just a stub there with the claw connected. Now, don't ask me where the hell this random claw came from, unless she is now just a Cicada, but also Inspector Gadget, and can now just, go Gadget claw or something like that, and that thing just shoots out of her arm. But it would be pretty badass if maybe Killer Frost freezes it off. As we know, Killer Frost isn't affected by the dagger and has sort of been Cicada's kryptonite, if you want to call it, throughout the season. So maybe she's able to get a good ice blast, if we're calling it, away and hit Cicada's hand, causing it to smash and, well, just go. Like we saw with Cisco in that potential future back in season 3. There could be many other options as to how it could go away if it actually has been cut off or anything like that. But a Killer Frost ice burst on it would be pretty cool. In regards to what the claw does, I would have no clue. As I almost called Canada Graphs Cicada. As Canada Graphs does say, she does nothing really with it, which makes me think that it is just like a prosthetic hand or something, or maybe it's meant to have some visual effects thing that does something. I have no idea. But yeah, taking off my crazy theory hat and putting it on the side, if I'm really diving into it legitimately, it does look like she's just holding it, and even then it doesn't look like an exact claw, like each prong is exact. It almost looks like two things on the front and a pole behind it. But as I said, because she's holding it in a certain way, you don't get to see it properly, so it might not be a claw, and it could be something that you put on your head or some weird thing that the dagger powers. I don't know what it is. Killer Frost freezing off her hand would be cool, but it's probably just some sort of device that she's holding, but because she's wearing black gloves, it's hard to tell exactly what's going on. But yeah. And the last thing of note to talk about is that of the gun that Cisco has when he and Ralph breach on in. Now, we can see it pretty clearly, and I don't know if we have seen this gun before. If we have, let me know in the comment section down below. But possibly this gun could be loaded with the Medicure or some other projectile or blast that can counter Cicada and knock her out, or just disorientate her long enough so that Team Flash can just do something. It doesn't look like the most complex gun in regards to design, but seeing it's Cisco and he likes to build things, I would like to think this weapon is pretty vital and important in at least assisting with the takedown of Cicada. But as I was saying before, we do have that Renee Adler character coming back in, and as we know, like, we had that one episode with her where right at the end we find out she's a metahuman, and that was meant to be like Nora's big plan to like shifting Sherlock away from investigating her, but then he just went back to investigating her the next episode. It didn't really line up. That it almost feels like it was a waste, but they are bringing this character back in episode 21, but it does feel like she might play into things. Maybe Cicada's going after her, but it feels like she might be either the way to keep Sherlock on the show, or a way that he'll go away and be happy about it, or she might, just some way to like write him off the show, but he can still show up at certain points, or it's a way to keep him on the show. I don't know, I have to wait and see, but it is interesting they brought it back when everyone thought that she had just, been written out of the show after one episode because maybe she didn't work. But yeah, she's back. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show your support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on what we went over in this video and just your general thoughts on these set photos and what we talked about. As I said, check out Canada Graphs, his blog in the description, as well as Themyscira Bound for providing those videos. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.